Hey guys, Matt, Trainer 43. A little while ago, I reviewed the MTH PS3 Daylight Southern Pacific, and in that video, a couple times I mentioned that MTH made a set of passenger cars to go with the engine. And what we'll do in this video today is take a look at them. Now that you've seen a look at the cars that we have, what I'll quickly do is give you guys some general stats and information that all the cars share, and then we'll take a look at some of the individual features of the cars. So some of the basic stats and info on these cars are that they're all 18 inches long. Now that is from each of the diaphragm sections. If you were to count the die-cast metal couplers in there, then the cars are 19 inches long. The weight of these cars is around 1 or 2 pounds, although I'm not 100% sure, so please don't quote me on that. And the minimum recommended curve for these cars is 0.42. Now, if you know our layout enough, if you've watched my layout tour videos, if you haven't, they're on my YouTube channel. But our layout is all 0.72, so before you guys ask if do these cars run on 0.31, 0.36, something like that, I don't know. So if you want to be a daredevil and try them on something like that, do that in your own time. I don't even have a way to test them on something as low as that. So, but that's for you guys. If you guys have a small layout and you want to run cars like this, my recommendation would be to, first of all, try them out. Try someone else's cars first that are these 18-inch cars. Don't go buying a set of these and test them on your 0.36 layout. If you have one, that would not be the way to go. The way to go would be to have someone bring their set over and then test them on your layout to see if they would run. And if they do, great. If they don't, then you're either out of luck or you'll have to get bigger curves. So with that taken care of, now let's give some more general stats and info. These are about the actual car details themselves. All of the cars feature durable ABS plastic bodies. They have metal wheels and axles. They have interior lighting, which are provided by a strip of incandescent bulbs throughout the car. They have die-cast four-wheel trucks operating non-thumbtack couplers, so you don't got to worry about a thumbtack or any unsightly item like that. They have figures in the coach cars. They have end-of-car diaphragms with these little silver skirts on the ends, so that way they don't pop off like some of the earlier cars did. They have separate metal handrails right here. They have a fast angle wheel set with needlepoint axles. They have a detailed car undercarriage, and as I said before, they're 18 inches long and run on a minimum of 0.42 curves. So now with the general stats and info on these cars taken care of, let's take a look at the individual cars, starting with the baggage car. So here's a look at the baggage car, and let's go ahead and take a look at the details on this car. On each end of the car, we have a die-cast metal coupler, which does have a little pin that you throw that will allow the coupler to open just like that. Right here we have a diaphragm. Now the diaphragm has this little silver skirt on the end, and let me go ahead and explain what that's all about. So now what the skirt actually does is it protects the diaphragm from coming off the car. Now right here, this is an MTH New York Central baggage car, and what I did was I pulled the diaphragm off, and you can see that what that little skirt does, without it, you can do this with the diaphragm. With this, you can pull this all day long. it will not come out. And basically what it does is it just protects this from happening. Now if this happens to one of your cars, all you have to do is take like a small screwdriver or something and work that little black rubber piece back into the hole on the car, and then your diaphragm will be fine. But that's what the skirt does. It protects that from happening. Moving past the ends of the car, on the sides we have a separately applied grab iron right here, a whole lot of nice rivet detail. We have a separately applied handrail right here, and then a door. Now the door does open. What you do to open it is you press the door in like this, then you open the door up like that. In the middle of the car we have the Southern Pacific Line's name, then we have the Daylight logo and the SP reporting marks with the car's road number 6637 done on this very nicely done plate on the side of the car. Finally, we have the other end of the car. Now I'm not going to review this, but I will briefly summarize it. We have another opening door. It opens just like the one that we just saw a second ago. We have the same diaphragm with the little skirt and another operating metal coupler. So here's a look at the coach cars that come with the set. You get 3 coach cars in the 5-car set. What I'll do is I'll review one of them because all 3 are exactly the same minus the road number on the car. On the ends of the coach cars, it doesn't look too much different from the other cars. We have a non-thumbtack operating coupler, a diaphragm with a little skirt on the end, and this nice piece of detail on the side of the diaphragm. Now I can't get the whole side of the car in one shot, so I'm going to review just parts of it. On the left hand end here, we have a nice piece of grab iron detail and then the start of some window work. In the middle we have the Southern Pacific Line's name up on the top here. Then we have the Daylight logo with the car's road number, and then inside the car we have a detailed interior complete with seats and people. So you guys can get a better idea of the details inside the car, I went ahead and shut the lights off. In here you can see one of the figures, and you may be able to see the chair detail. It all looks very, very nice. And also on some of the windows they have little curtains which look very, very nice. Really nice detail on these passenger cars. Now here's the other 2 coach cars. The only difference in these cars is the road number. This car here and the car behind it, they both have different road numbers, and the coach car I just reviewed also has a different road number. So you have 3 different coach cars, each with 3 different road numbers on them. And finally, now we come to the last car in the 5-pack, which is the observation car. On the ends of the car, it's the same as the other cars. We have a diaphragm and a coupler right here. Then we also have a door right here. Now this door does open. It's on a spring, and be careful when you open these doors because sometimes they'll get stuck. If they get stuck, what you gotta do is you gotta open up the car and move the door in from the inside to get it to look like this. Now on the sides of the car, or where these cars differ from the coach cars, the main difference is the window patterns, although we do retain the Southern Pacific Line's name and the Daylight logo with the car's road number on it. Now the window patterns on this car are very different from the coach car because the coach cars had windows going all along the side of the car, while with this you've only got a select number of windows on the car. Just like with the coach cars, to better view the interior of the car, I went ahead and shut the lights off in the room. Right here, in this window here, we have a passenger figure, and then in this window you can see some of the very nicely done seat work. Now finally, on the back of the car is where it really shines, I think. These observation cars are really nice. But on the back of the car here, we have these light and marker lights right here. Now these are only lit by the car lighting, so they may not light up very much, but they do light up, which is kind of nice. We have a separately applied grab iron piece right here. Then on the back we have a lit and marker light back here, another window here, and then the Daylight drum head. Now the drum head does not light up, but I'm sure if you wanted to make it light up, you could light it up yourself if you wanted to. And then right here we have an operating metal coupler. Now, as to why MTH put a coupler on the back of the observation car, I don't know. But I'm sure knowing them, there's a good reason, because it's been on all of their observation cars that they've made for passenger sets. And then, just to better view the back of the car, I went ahead and shut the lights off. You can see the marker lights here. As you guys can see, they don't really light up a lot, but they do light up a little bit. Then we have the seat work, which is very nicely done with a whole lot of passenger figures. So that takes care of the 5-pack of passenger cars. Now let's move on to the 2-pack. Okay, so with the 5-pack out of the way, here's a look at the 2-pack. Okay, so the 2-pack consists of a dining car as well as a sleeper car. Okay, so I got the lights in the room shut off so you can get a better idea of what the interiors of these cars look like. On the ends of the car here, we have the shaded in windows, which look very nice. And then where the passengers are, you can see that they're sitting in some very nicely done seats on the car. And then you can see that they have some passenger figures inside, which look very nice. And then here you can see what the empty seats look like. You can see that there's no figures here, but they still look nice nonetheless. And finally, now we have a little bit of both. We have some passenger figures here, and then one passenger figure there, and then an empty area there. And now finally, here's a look at the dining car. And then now we have the dining car on the train. Now, really the only difference, as I said earlier, is the window patterns, but the interior of the car is where the differences really shine. Now, as I said just a second ago, this is where the interior of the car is very different from the other cars. You can see right in here we have 2 tables that are seated just like they would be in a restaurant, and you can see the little chair in the background there. And then out here you can see they got some people getting ready to be served, and then we have another empty table there. And now we have a lot of people here. We got these people here sitting at the table. Well, this will be drinking coffee. And then we got another group of people there eating. Okay, so moving a little further down the car, we have this figure here getting served. And then we have this little larger group right here. And finally, towards the back, a couple windows in the car, we have another group of people right here. And then we have the Molex connector that connects the lighting to the pickup rollers to get the power. Okay, so that about wraps up for this review. These cars are very nice. If you have any of these cars or any of the other passenger cars that MTH has made, you know that these are very nice. If you're interested in purchasing some of them, the retail price on the 5-pack is just around $450, and the retail price on the 2-pack is around $190. Of course, if you go through a good MTH dealer, you can get a discount off that. And also, they've made other cars. Like I said, they made the Vistadome, the RPO car, and a 2-car baggage and coach set. But that's going to do it for this video. What we'll do now is put it behind the Daylight and run it around the lab for a couple minutes. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up. So let's run it behind the Daylight.